my ever-faithful companion, Dark Magician!
Welcome along, fellow Dark Magician enthusiasts, to another video. This is probably going to be the first video in a series. I don't quite have a name for it, but we're going to be having a look at Dark Magician's performance within the community and seeing how it's going so far. Because I mean, with all the support we've been getting and with the skill we've been getting, you know, like that we've got all the support, we've got the skill. You know, DM's starting to come back really well, and it's proving. In the past 2 weeks, so on duellinksmeta.com, where the community submits a bunch of top decks, you know, for like tournaments, for cogs, even win streaks, we have 17 decks that have been submitted in the past 2 weeks. And out of these 17 decks is like 4, 5, 6 tournament tops, which is pretty impressive. Considering the fact that like stuff is still being worked out, people are eventually starting to figure out the right line, or like the right lines to play with DM and that. It's crazy cool to see like how many tournaments DM has been participating in, and like how many cogs people have been getting with DM, which is cool. I know I would personally love to participate in a tournament myself, but because I'm in Australia, it's hard to like line up my sleep schedule with a tournament, because like normally a tournament either happens at like 4 AM or 5 AM in the morning, well, 6 AM if I'm lucky. So like I would be participating in tournaments myself, but yeah, sleep schedule, like, you know, I can't really sacrifice my sleep all that much. Anyway, so like looking through these lists, we can just hover over them slightly. You know, we're seeing people with varying different play styles, like no fusion summons whatsoever except for Dragon Master Knight. You know, we've got a typical list here, which like, yeah, looks alright. Then we have my list here, which like you guys have seen already, I've talked about before. We have Skill Shot, who participated in a tournament. You know, double sequence, pretty cool. And the double Kite Roy, double Magic Rebo, which is very interesting. We have another cog deck here, bunch of hand traps. Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer, which, you know, is a very interesting take. But interesting thing about this deck, no fusions, except for Dragon Master Knight. Just all link monsters, which you can play the deck that way, you can. You know, no fusions yet again except for Dragon Master Knight. You know, people are getting a top 8. We got another cog deck here, it's all very interesting to look at. We got Desti's list here. We've got Sandra's list here. I probably butchered the name, I'm so sorry. But yeah, one of the founders of the site. Skillshot's another site founder as well, which I believe they're like very, very, very early members of the site. You know, trying out the Beatrice tech. We've got another one here with the Mind on Air tech. A bunch of fusions in the extra deck, which is cool. Torch here. I've seen Torch's journey. I haven't watched like the whole journey personally, but like, you know, I like seeing him talk in the Discord server, in the Dark Magician Discord server, you know, describing his journey. That it's very cool to see his list here. Dwarf's list here, very nice. Another skill shot list for a top 4 tournament placement. Ray's got a top 4 tournament placement. Very cool to see. Tachi got a top 4 placement with the Invoked engine, so people are starting to pick up Invoked, which is cool to see. Cool to see people are trying it out, working out. Starker is another person I have to mention. Like, they've struggled so, like, they have personally said that like they've struggled, but they've managed to get cog after, like, you know, like continuing to persist the deck. You know, like sometimes the deck will do your hands like you just can't win, like, or like you will get dealt boards that you just can't win against, but enough perseverance and you can get through it. And a 21 card deck as well. Very nice. And then we have a first place tournament, tournament first placement by Skillshot. Very, very good stuff. I will say congrats to everyone that's gotten to COG and gotten the tournament tops. Very, very cool stuff to see from Dark Magician. Like, it's cool to see this. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the communities list. You know, it's going to be great. And this is all leading up to the KC Cup that's happening next month too. Keep that in mind. Now, if we head to the breakdown, if you guys want to see the breakdown of the deck, you can see there's a bunch of cards that are rising in popularity. Like, we got IP, Artemis is going up there. Like, really good. Yeah, good. Artemis should be going up now because of the new skill. Master of Chaos is just new. Underworld Goddess is coming up. Dragon Master Knight is new for the deck. But it's interesting to see Ebon Illusion Magician and Induct the World Chalice Dragon going down now that we've got the new skill and everything. Book of Eclipse and Forbidden Droplet are going down. But we're seeing an increased usage in Secrets of Dark Magic. Magician's Combinations coming back. Rod's coming back. Magician Navigation is coming back. And what's interesting about this, 84% of decks are running 3 Dark Magician. One deck's running just 1 for some weird reason, which if you lose Dark Magician, you lose the entire game. So I would not recommend 1. So yeah, 3 has become the popular number for DM, which I always push out. Play 3, you need access to DM. And Bane of Darkness is dropping off a lot because we got the new skill, which honestly everyone should be playing new skill because it is just cracked. But yeah, it's cool to see all the stats here, and if we switch to tournament only, you can see a whole variety of different varying different strats here. Like Magician of Dark Illusion, I wouldn't really recommend it because it's a very slow card, but people have been experimenting with it. Magician of Chaos is a good one to experiment with. Dark Magic Expanded, Invocation for the Invoked engine. It's very cool to see this stuff happening. And what's surprising is that the average deck size is 30, because we can deep draw so much into this deck, it's crazy. Like playing 30 cards, you can just draw into so many hand traps, so many different cards and that. And you don't want to deck out either. So yeah, no, it's very very cool to see all this happening, and this will change over the coming weeks, which I know will happen as a result of people finding out the optimal strats, finding out the optimal techs, and just running that over and over and over. And yeah, we'll see the direction that DM goes. Now we have the tier list update, which was made by the Top Player Council, which Snuffus, the world champion, has commented on Dark Magician, which they says deserves a mention because people are figuring out new and better ways to play a deck, which is correct. People have been experimenting, and as Snuffer says here, the current best turn 1 involves you using Magician Navigation, ideally with the Dark Magicians, through normal summon Rod, activate Illusion Magic, grab Secrets, grab 2 DMs, make the Dark Magicians with another spellcaster in your hand, then you use Soul Servant to put Navigation on top. The Dark Magicians draws Navigation, you set Navigation, then with 1 DM in hand, you activate Navigation, summon DM, and then summon Mind on Air. That's how that works, because it will make the spell trap negate live in the opponent's turn, which is correct. It is. I have seen a person comment on my recent live stream, which I do agree with. It's easy to interrupt. If people recognize the correct choke point and they hit you, that combo is dead. So it's a cool combo, but if people know exactly where to hit, you will lose your advantage. But yeah, anyway, so this whole play, summon Mind on Air, which prevents the opponent from using any skill that needs them to reveal cards in hand, as well as Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, because Blue Eyes is meta, which this is because of rulings. When a card's already revealed in the hand, it can't be revealed again. That's just a mechanical thing. There is one thing to keep note of, though. Surprisingly, Age of Gear, Crystal Beast, and Utopia come off the tier list, but that's alright. Despia has gone down because it's seeing a lot less use and people are attacking against it. Blue Eyes, here. Majesty of the White Dragons by itself has placed Blue Eyes top tiers, since it can be set for free off the skill, which is true, and non-targeting destroy cards by showing, which is different to revealing. So, Konami have made a mechanic specifically where showing is different to revealing. And that's something you need to keep in mind. Even if your opponent has their hand revealed, if they normal summon Kyberman the Legend, or they activate Majesty of the White Dragons, their hand being revealed will not stop the opponent from showing the monsters. So keep that in mind. And one thing to actually keep in mind as well, with Kyberman the Legend, If you go to top decks here, we look for a card. Kyberman the Legend requires Blue Eyes players to show 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. If there is a Blue Eyes White Dragon in the graveyard and you've got a DD Crow, if you banish that Blue Eyes White Dragon before it resolves, and they haven't got any other copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field through, you know, alternative being on the field or in the graveyard, then they will not get Kyberman the Legend's effect. Keep that in mind. It like really bottlenecks the Blue Eyes deck. It really, really hurts it. So keep this in mind. It's a very, very good interruption, and then force the opponent to, like, you know, use True Light and get their stuff on the field. And now, saving this a little bit for last, just a brief talk about the tier list, which I did show earlier in the tier list update. Despy is not here for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure why. If you go to power rankings, you can see all the decks that are currently being played. But this tier list is fairly accurate to what people are playing. Obviously, with the power rankings, like from all the tournament topping decks, Crystal Beast, Ancient Gear, and Utopia, even though they were kicked out of the tier list, are still around. People are still playing them. But from my perspective, this is okay. If you were to look at this for the rank setting, always take the tier list with a grain of salt when you're talking about ranked ladder, because anyone can play anything in ranked ladder and can get very different results. Like, matchups would depend from deck to deck. But realistically, Blue Eyes and Shaddoll are pretty damn powerful, as well as Shine Birds. And then all these other decks here, with these ones as well, like, they are still very powerful, very strong, and, like, you know, can steamroll an unprepared deck very easily. So yeah, all in all, it's really cool to see DM rising up. Different plays, different styles, different play styles being made, different techs being tried. It's very cool to see. I'm looking forward to seeing more. And remember, guys, if you want to have a look at my guide, I've got loads of information in here about different recommendations, like, you know, card amounts, what you should run, what you should maybe not run. There's a lot of information in here. A lot of, like, recommended staples. You know, varying disease monsters, link monsters, fusion monsters, some engines you could potentially try. Spicy tech if you really want to. Some example combos as well, like these. Like, I did my best to write these combos. Remember, these combos may not work all the time, but it gives you an idea of how you can play, going first or going second. And then, like, you got some decks here for inspiration. Like these 6 are for the older skills. These 3 are for the new skills. And if you're free to play, like, you know, check out this guy, like, check out these examples as well as like dream tickets and so on. But yeah, have a look through the guide. If you're struggling with DM, if you, like, need some ideas, have a look through it. There's a lot of info here. I put a lot of time into it. It'll help you guys out a lot. But yeah, we'll see how DM performs over the next 2 weeks before the KC Cup starts. And if you guys want to know, I will stream my journey to D-level max in the KC Cup, and we'll actually try for second stage and see how far we can go. Hopefully I'll be able to stream second stage. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.